Testing, testing. What's up, guys? Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is John. Welcome to the channel. We do reviews from all types of stores, whether they be clothing stores, shoe stores, the Apple store where I bought this Apple Watch. Actually, I bought this at Best Buy. But today we're making a review on Apple Care Plus because about 3 weeks, 4 weeks ago, actually about 2 months ago, I noticed issues with the microphone on the Apple Watch Ultra. I was having a hard time calling people, voice to text, creating voice memos, all of which are important things that you can do with the Apple Watch Ultra. This I've compared to regular wrist watches, and what I have found that actually comparing this to a regular wristwatch is not the right way to think of this. This is really actually more of an iPhone, but on the wrist. So having a microphone that doesn't work is crucial to being able to use this as intended. And actually, if you'll remember from a week ago in the live stream, there were no software issues actually reported in the Apple community. I did a bunch of research. I took this to the Apple Store 4 times, and they said the same thing, no issues with the microphone on the Apple Watch Ultra. And as you'll remember from that live stream, uh, the Apple Watch Ultra that I showed you was in perfectly good working condition. So no damage, so to speak, which is confusing because when I sent this to Apple to have it repaired, they said the same thing. There was no damage and to simply reset the device. Well, come to find out, as we all know and love about Apple OEM 1-year manufacturer warranties, they are great about replacing items in store, whether that be a pair of AirPods. I've actually even returned a damaged iPhone case and gotten a new one. But that's what I was expecting for this Apple Watch Ultra, but it did not happen. I took it to the Apple Store roughly 3 times, sent it to Indiana to get repaired roughly 3 times, and every time it came back. By the way, when it comes back from the repair facility, it comes in a box like this, and it also comes with some technician remarks. And not sure if you can see this or not, but what it basically says is no issues found and to simply reset the device. And each and every time I got the watch back after sending it away, I did that, but was still having issues with the microphone. And last but finally, not least, like I said, what's great about Apple, you can usually take things in and get them replaced. Well, the technician, or at least my Apple Store, not sure which one it was, not sure how replacements go for Apple Watch Ultra, but getting this replaced in store was simply not an option, both at the Apple Store at Coconut Point here in Estero in Southwest Florida, as well as the Apple Store at Waterside Shops in Naples, also in Southwest Florida. So within roughly 25 miles of my house, I have access to 2 Apple stores, one all the way in Naples, which did not offer a replacement, and the closest one to me being in Coconut Point in Estero, which did not have replacements in store to give me. And like I was saying, each time I sent this to the repair facility in Indiana and got it back, they couldn't find any issues with it. So I felt like I was sort of stuck in this vicious cycle of sending my watch away and knowing that each time I would get it back, it would be the same issue. And actually, the genius technician, recommended that I get Apple Care Plus, but then he said, well, I would recommend it. This is loosely quoted, by the way. you don't have any days remaining left to get Apple Care Plus. Well, that's funny because he was wrong. Because when he mentioned that, I thought it was a good idea and still, luckily, went home and looked it up and realized that I could still get Apple Care Plus. I had 3 days left to get it. So today we're making an Apple Care Plus review because had I not purchased Apple Care Plus, I would have not gotten a replacement Apple Watch Ultra. So I was having issues with the microphone and it wasn't getting fixed, it wasn't getting replaced. And luckily, I purchased Apple Care Plus, which is $3.99 a month or $79 for 2 years of coverage. And what that comes with is 24/7 access to Genius support technicians, unlimited repairs, and replacements. So basically, even though there aren't many upgrades you can make to the Apple Watch Ultra, buying this online or in store, the most important one you can make, the most important thing you can do to add value to this watch, because it is a tool, is to purchase Apple Care Plus. I cannot recommend it enough because had I not purchased Apple Care Plus, I would have not gotten a replacement and probably would still be dealing with Apple going to the Apple store and sending this to Indiana to get it repaired. Luckily, I purchased Apple Care Plus. I took this to the Apple store. They noticed that I was still having the microphone issue after having, gone to the Apple store 3 times prior. The technicians from those 3 prior visits had taken notes that I was having microphone issues. This 4th time that I went, I had purchased Apple Care Plus before going. They confirmed it. They also confirmed that I was having the microphone issues. They sent it to Indiana, and lo and behold, it gets to Indiana, and Apple immediately sends me a message saying, hey, we're going to replace it. It's on the way. So about 3 days later, maybe it was 2 days later, I went to the Apple store and picked up this replacement. So after having the Apple Watch Ultra for 3 months, I'm not sure if I was having a one-off issue with the microphone. The technicians at the store were unable to look up any other known similar issues, and the notes that they have nationwide on handling people's products, other people's products. And also, I did research myself, Reddit, checking online forums about microphone issues with the Apple Watch Ultra, and could not find a single thing. And also, you'll remember from the live stream a week ago when I first reported having microphone issues, no hardware damage to be seen on the outside, at least. Remember, this is a microphone, and actually there are microphones on either side of the case on the Apple Watch Ultra, which simply means someone could have poked one of the microphones with something sharp, but I don't think that's what happened. Maybe it is what happened, but I can't say for sure. All I know is that luckily I had Apple Care Plus still available, so I purchased it, and it was well worth it because I got a replacement. But also, one other interesting thing that happened was because, like I said, I thought I was going to be stuck in this vicious cycle of sending the Apple Watch Ultra away and getting it back and it no longer working. I decided to purchase a Series 8 stainless steel. So in the next couple of weeks, expect a review comparison of the Apple Watch Ultra versus the Series 8 stainless steel. Rumors have it that the stainless steel, the Apple Watch Series 8, this design is leaving, but I have also heard opposing rumors that this design is staying. And that's interesting because the Apple Watch Series 8 versus the Apple Watch Ultra are completely different in terms of design. As you can see, the Apple Watch Ultra has the flat design, as where the Series 8 has the kind of edge-to-edge screen flowing over the edge, pebble-like design. It's very liquid and smooth and soft to wear. It's comfortable, as where the Watch Ultra is just a little more rough and rugged and sharp. So that is just a sneak peek of what is to come in the next couple of weeks, because I do have more to say, especially in terms of design, about these watches and how to use them. But this has been just a Apple Care Plus review. If you have an Apple Watch Ultra, there aren't many upgrades you can make in store or online purchasing this watch. The only one being either to buy a different band. That is one upgrade you can make. The most important upgrade you can make, however, is purchasing Apple Care Plus. It makes this watch virtually indestructible with the 24/7 access to Genius technicians, replacements, and unlimited repairs. So use this, abuse it, get it repaired for $3.99 a month or for $79 for 2 years of coverage. Apple Care Plus is well worth it. I was having microphone issues. A lot of times I travel with this watch outside of my house without my iPhone and rely on this to communicate with people over the phone, voice to text. So having a working microphone is important. And luckily, because I was able to purchase Apple Care Plus, I was able to get a replacement because I was afraid that I was not getting a replacement. And yes, this watch is under a year old. So Apple not having the Ultra replacement in my store, 2 stores close to my house did not have Apple Watch Ultra replacements in store. And also, the Genius technician, when I shipped this watch to get repaired to Indiana, did not recommend a replacement. So really strange that I was having these issues and was not able to get a replacement until I purchased Apple Care Plus. So, for as valuable as a watch this is, to not have to go through that hassle again, I definitely recommend Apple Care Plus. It is just a no-brainer. So that's it. That's my story of what happened in the past couple of weeks with this Apple Watch Ultra. Actually, this is the replacement. My original is gone. I really hope you enjoyed this quick little live stream here. Don't make the same mistake I did and purchase a watch without Apple Care. You have 60 days to purchase Apple Care if you buy an Apple Watch. So purchase it within the 60-day time frame, because there may be a time when you need to get it replaced, when you cannot get it replaced, when you need it the most. Okay, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. Also, be sure to wait and see the Apple Watch Series 8 versus Apple Watch Ultra. That is coming in the next couple of weeks. My name is John. Thanks again so much for tuning in. I will see you in the next video.